Okay, waivers, eh? It's actually kind of weird to see the dual video come out here again on a topic that is shared amongst the entire NHL. But we have ourselves a video here today going over yesterday's waiver wire. The waiver wire saw a whole bunch of really good names actually get sent down, and because it's been 24 hours, we now know that a good chunk of these names have been picked off and claimed by other NHL teams. Take a look at this. Washington reclaimed Jonsson Fjallby from the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres recently acquired him from the Capitals in another waiver wire move a few months ago. Philadelphia went out there and claimed Patrick Brown, and then we have the two that I wanted to discuss in this video here today. Seattle Kraken, they have claimed from the Tampa Bay Lightning Alex Barré-Boulet, and the Montreal Canadiens have claimed Adam Brooks from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now let's start out with the Seattle one here first because it's the first one that popped up here on the timeline. When I take a look at waivers, one of the biggest things that I try to think about is where these players get picked off in the waiver wire order. Now, if you didn't know, when waivers go down, when a player is on waivers, every NHL team has the right to go out there and put a claim and say, okay, that's a good player, I want to take him. But if you have several teams that all want to get this guy, there's an order that is established as to who gets first priority. And that priority is given out to the worst teams in the standings last season in the NHL. Because Seattle did not have a team last season, I would think they probably have either top priority or some of the top priority, either first, second, third, or fourth, or whatever, in the waiver wire claiming order. So because Barre-Boulet was taken by Seattle, it says to me that this guy was claimed immediately off of waivers. There was no real chance that he would have cleared, and if you want to take a look at why exactly that is, let's go over the profile over here. Alex Barré-Boulet, 24 years old, 5'10", 181, a small guy out of Quebec, undrafted into the NHL, but signed as a free agent by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Why did they sign him, you may ask? Well, because in the QMJHL in 2017-18, he absolutely torched the league. 116 points, 65 games played, 53 goals. He was ballistic, and he was so good that the Lightning were like, okay, yeah, that's a really good player right there. We're going to sign you, and we're going to see what you can do in our farm system because we're the Tampa Bay Lightning. We've got some really good, really smart hockey players, and we think you can fit in. And that's what he did. 68 points, 74 games played with the Syracuse Crunch as a brand new rookie in the league, as an undersized, 20 years old kind of guy. He went out there and won all the awards. He had the most goals by a rookie player. Not only that, he had the most goals by anybody in the league. He had the most points for all rookies. He was the Rookie of the Year, and he made the all-rookie team. Barre-Boulet absolutely torched the AHL as he did the QMJHL. And it's why you take a look at how exactly he progressed. Hey, he still was doing really well in 2019-20 with the Crunch. Then in 2020-2021, he was over a point per game. He actually had a 15-game stint with the regular Lightning. He had 3 goals, 0 assists. He was on waivers because the Lightning are, well, the Lightning, and they're really good. So, yeah, it's not really tough to distinguish why that would have been the case, but because he's on waivers, everybody took a look at this guy with drool coming down the corners of their mouths because this guy had a really attractive profile, and now he'll be going over to a Seattle team that, I mean, if they go out there and they give him the opportunity to be a top 6 forward, like, this guy can legitimately go out there and maybe sustain that kind of ceiling. Even the scouting report here on Dauber Prospects talks about this. Take a look at this. This is their Alex Barré-Boulet scouting report over here, and it says that he is a quick, skilled, and tenacious forward who allows his smarts to compensate for his slight frame. Great offensive instincts, and he may develop into a legitimate top 6 NHL option. Not bad for an undrafted QMJHLer who had signed a free agency contract a few years ago. All the rest of the reports over here go over the rest of his skills, the entire timeline of Barre-Boulet and his development, but he's going to be a great option here for the Seattle Kraken, I think, as another extra depth guy that you could probably thrust into a top power play once in a while and really see the offensive instincts come to life. Going over onto the other move, though, take a look at the Montreal Canadiens because they have claimed from the Toronto Maple Leafs Adam Brooks, 25 years old, 5'10", 179. He's making $725,000 until the end of this season. He was drafted by the Leafs out of the 4th round in 2016. and ever since then, he has been a really solid WHL point producer. You can see the amount of numbers this guy was able to produce, absolutely fantastic over here. 130 points in 66 games played. You don't get that many points without having some semblance of skill. In the Toronto Marlies system, he had a difficult time adjusting right off the bat, 19 points, 57 games played, but the seasons after that, he really started to find his game and become a lot more comfortable in that role. He was still a point-per-game-ish kind of guy with the Marlies last season, and he actually had an NHL stint where he had 5 points in 11 games played with the regular Maple Leafs. This preseason, Adam Brooks honestly looked pretty good, and if you want to take a look at why, here's the skill set that he has. Being at the top of the call-up list is good enough for fantasy radars, as proven by Brooks' recent stint with the Leafs. With injuries hitting the team and Engvall underperforming, Brooks has seen a 4-game audition with the big club, and has 2 points to show for it despite averaging roughly 9 minutes a night. He is skating exclusively on the fourth line and not taking faceoffs, but he has passed the eye test. Generating create offense, that does not actually sound right. Creating offense, you could say generating offense, same thing, in the opposing zone, and keeping up with the Leafs' complete backcheck, even seeing some penalty killing time. His lack of peripheral stats still make him a less than ideal streaming candidate in the short term, but he is putting up points and he looks like he deserves an extended look at the NHL somewhere in 2021-2022. Why did the Leafs get Adam Brooks? Well, because he is a center, and I mean, if you want to go out there and give your fourth-line center spot away from Paquette to this guy, I honestly would not think that'd be too bad of a move, especially with the fact that he's a free waiver wire pickup. He's coming out here as a skilled player who's got some really good defensive instincts with something to prove at the NHL level. He's produced everywhere he has gone, but he still just kind of needs to break into that National Hockey League mold. He's only had 18 games played with the Maple Leafs, so it's been tough for him to crack that lineup. With Montreal, though, it feels like the Habs would actually give him a legit shot at being an NHL athlete. Especially since with the Leafs, I mean, Kyle Dubas apparently likes Michael Amadio a lot more than this guy, so we'll see how exactly things go on when the season begins. If Amadio becomes a really good player for Toronto and Adam Brooks is subpar for Montreal, then I guess Dubas would have made the right decision, but it's going to be a while before we can come to those conclusions. But either way, Adam Brooks right here is a really good pickup here for the Montreal Canadiens, mostly just because of the stability he provides. It's the same kind of philosophy over here that I've been trying to say in the previous videos. If you're claiming somebody on waivers, you need to be confident that you're going to use him in your lineup, because if you're not, oh, we'll try him out with our team, see if he's good enough to stick around, and if he's not, we'll just send him down on waivers again, and he'll get claimed by the same team that gave him up in the first place, like Buffalo and Janssen Fjallby. That's the exact same situation that happened right here. You need to be confident with these things. And with Marc Bergevin doing what Marc Bergevin does, I feel like this is a good opportunity for a guy to come into the Montreal system and play a fourth-line center spot that is somewhat vacant at the moment. So, for Montreal fans, talk to me in the comments, what do you think about Adam Brooks? If you're a Kraken fan, let me know what you think about Alex Barré-Boulet. I'll tell you what, right now, he's a very good player. I really do think you should be excited for this guy. Lightning fans, tell me in the comments, are you disappointed in losing this guy? Do you think there was a better alternative as to what you could have done instead? Same with Leafs fans. Would you like to see Michael Amadio prove himself over Adam Brooks, and are you confident that he's going to be able to do that? Talk to me in the comments. What do you think? Hope you enjoyed this video. Trolls 99, and bye.